We're diving into a story that could have a massive impact on your wallet, your job, and the entire U.S. economy. President Donald Trump and his administration are warning Americans to brace for some economic pain as they roll out sweeping tariffs and federal workforce cuts. But what does this really mean for you? Are these just short-term growing pains, or is there something bigger on the horizon? Let's break it all down. First, let's talk tariffs. President Trump has long been a critic of free trade deals, arguing that they've hurt American workers and industries. Now, he's making good on his promises by slapping tariffs on billions of dollars worth of imported goods. But here's the catch. Tariffs are essentially taxes on imports, and those costs often get passed down to consumers. That means higher prices on everything from your smartphone to your car. Prices on some items will go up as a result of tariffs, but overall inflation will remain stable. Okay, so prices are going up, but inflation won't spike. That's a tricky balance, and while the administration is downplaying the impact, critics argue that even small price hikes can hurt working families. Plus, there's the risk of retaliation from other countries, which could lead to a full-blown trade war. Remember, we've seen this play out before with China, and it wasn't pretty. Next up, let's talk about what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent called a detox period. Essentially, the administration is saying that cutting federal spending and reshaping the economy will come with some short-term pain. But they're framing it as a necessary step to make America more competitive in the long run. Now, this is where things get interesting. During his campaign, Trump promised quick fixes, like ending inflation on day one and making America affordable again. But now, the tone has shifted. Instead of instant results, we're hearing about short-term hits and disturbances. So, what changed? Well, reality set in. Governing is a lot harder than campaigning, and the economy doesn't turn on a dime. Speaking of the economy, let's look at the numbers. In February, the U.S. added fewer jobs than expected, and the unemployment rate ticked up slightly to 4.1%. While that's still low by historical standards, it's a sign that the economy might be cooling off, and with the federal government cutting jobs, the private sector is having to pick up the slack. Now, the administration is arguing that these cuts are necessary to streamline government and reduce waste. But for the thousands of federal workers who could lose their jobs, this is anything but reassuring. And let's not forget, federal jobs often support local economies, so these cuts could have a ripple effect. So, what's the bigger picture here? On one hand, the administration is pushing for long-term gains, like revitalizing American manufacturing and reducing reliance on foreign goods. But on the other hand, these policies come with real costs for everyday Americans. Higher prices, job losses, and economic uncertainty are all part of the equation. And let's be real. This isn't just about economics. It's about trust. During the campaign, Trump sold himself as the guy who could fix everything overnight. But now, he's asking Americans to be patient and endure some pain. The question is, will people stick with him if the disturbances last longer than expected? So, what's next? Well, a lot depends on how these policies play out in the coming months. Will the tariffs boost American industries, or will they spark a trade war? Will federal cuts lead to a leaner, more efficient government? Or will they hurt communities that rely on those jobs? And, most importantly, how will all of this impact you? One thing's for sure, the stakes are high. Whether you support these policies or not, it's clear that we're in for some major changes. So, what do you think? Are these growing pains worth it for a stronger economy down the road, or is the administration risking too much too soon? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth analysis of the news that matters.